You don't have to hook into the grid, which is old and, could be taken out. If it's taken out, they wouldn't have any way to get any electricity.
I was going to tell you how fragile the grid system is, and if it did go out, you're going to want one of these because you can store 65 gallons while the water system is temporarily running on the generators. In that situation, your biggest need is not going to be a little power bank for your flavored air. It's going to be water and food.
Okay, so you guys just seen that. That was Trump's words. He's wanting to shut down the power grid. He's already been talking about this during his Project 2025 stuff going on. Do your research. Do your research. I got a lot of ground to cover tonight. So, it says, that crypto is a part of the B system when BlackRock is buying it up. Now, the thing is, the stock market's already crashing. And you've seen that since Trump put in the taxes, the tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada, but yet he just, decided he was going to put a halt onto that. Yet China decided they're going to continue putting on taxes on us. We know that this is going to cause our groceries to go up. He said that he's going to hold off for at least 30 days. That's what Trump was wanting to do. And this is all in around the same timing where Passover and all this other stuff that he really wants to get going is happening. And the deportation of the illegals, what has happened, like I said, is going to happen. He's going to put them in detention camps. Well, guess what? That's exactly what's happened over at the borders. And so this is going to cause mass civil unrest. And so we had the power grid he's been talking about. We have the illegals. We have the civil unrest that's coming. We have the massive protesters, and already in Washington and parts of that, we already have martial law being declared in those areas. Pretty soon it's going to be declared world, it's going to be all over the United States. Well, I'm sure everybody knows what the buzz has been today, what has been talked about, of course. But before I talk about that, did you guys know that the U.S. Postal Service suspends incoming parcels from China and Hong Kong? They suspended accepting international parcels from China and Hong Kong. Yeah, not very good from what's happening. And then the major thing that I really want to talk about is this right here. President Trump announced that the U.S. will take over Gaza and develop it. This is a wow moment. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. When they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman, and they shall not escape. So the one thing that people have to understand about the covenant and about things that's happening, that's going on, that's going at warp speed, is that the next thing following is going to be the abomination that makes desolate. And like I said, I'm with the rate that everything has been going. I truly believe that it's going to be with this red heifer sacrifice. I'm going to read to you things because the Antichrist is the one that seeks to change time and laws. And it also states that the Antichrist is going to have an image made after the beast. Well, guess what? He's having an image made after himself at Mount Rushmore. So, let's just, let me read you this information. Okay? East proceed. And ahead of Trump's meetings with Netanyahu and then with King Abdullah, Israel should seek legitimacy and international recognition for these prayers. This is talking about the Temple Mount. The first Trump administration took a small step in this direction. The deal of the century stated that Jerusalem's holy sites should remain open and available for peaceful worshipers and tourists of all faith. and that people of every faith should be permitted to pray on the Temple Mount, Haram, and Al-Sharif in a manner that is fully respectful to their religion. Now, tell me that, bringing back the Abraham Accords, the Noahide laws, and all of that, bringing them back, there's going to be a one world religion where all is going to be able to pray, where they're going to be able to do their sacrifices and so on and so forth. But the Antichrist is the one that's going to cause it to cease in the midst of this. Okay, so the Temple Mount changes have entered the chat, and ahead of Netanyahu-Trump meeting, time to legitimize Jewish prayers on the Temple Mount. And you do know that it is America, Trump himself, the one that is dividing the land. And what's going to happen is God is going to divide us. That is the judgment of Babylon, and why our destruction is going to happen, and why I have said that we play a major role in Bible prophecy. That is why we get wiped off the map. Okay, and then the new regional arrangement presents an opportunity for international recognition of prayers that have been taking place there for 7 years. Trump's deal of the century took the first step in this direction. Okay, and the reason it was is because it first came, it was September 25th, 2019. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 17. Yeah, 17, 18. Yeah, because he brought it back in 2018. That's what it was. So the first Trump administration, excuse me, I skipped a line. So it now be time to bring them out of the shadows. The first Trump administration took a small step in this direction. The deal of the century stated that Jerusalem's holy sites should remain open and available for peaceful worshippers and tourists of all faiths, and that people of every faith should be permitted to pray on the Temple Mount, Haram, Al-Sharif in a manner that is fully respectful to their religion. On the agenda now is again the establishment of all religions as ministering on the Temple Mount, which would include representatives from Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Indonesia, and possibly other parties. Israel is also meant to be integrated. Okay, and you can also find this on www.israelhayam.com. And it says we are ready, and Israel is ready. Excuse me. Went up around Israel, Jerusalem, and Washington, D.C. today in support of the advancement of the Abraham Accords. The campaign led by campaign led by the Coalition for Regional Security calls on the U.S. and Saudi leaders to reshape history. Coalition for Regional Security is who made the Abraham Shield Plan that takes the Abraham Accords, Saudi normalization, and two-state solution and makes the Abraham Alliance describing a separation from the Palestinians in a time under a decade. Now remember, I just read you guys this in a previous video about the Abraham Accords and what Trump's agenda was. And I know a lot of people don't believe that this has anything to do with what is going on, but I hate to tell you that he is absolutely the biblical Antichrist. And I've been sick. Obviously, if you can't tell, sickness has run through really quick. So today I took my son now to the doctor, and my doctor ended up, don't know how we got on the conversation. And I was like, I really don't want to talk about Trump. I don't really care for him. And my doctor goes, yeah, well, I'm beginning to think that he's the biblical Antichrist. And I was like, wow. I said, that's because he is. And he goes, well, hold on, let's not say that. And I said, no, he is. I was talking about the dreams and stuff. We started talking about the rapture. We started talking about, the Stargate project and all these other stuff. And he fist bumped me. He said, that's why I love you. That is, and he's followed me on my channels and stuff. And I'm just like, I didn't even expect that. And so it's just those things that are just like people are waking up out of the woodworks, seeing him for what he really is and what he's doing. And the thing is, it's not talking trash about him. It's not putting the man down. It's not trying to sit there and say that, he's this horrible person. It has nothing to do with that. It's biblical facts. It's what he's done. It's how he's saying it. It's he's flattering. He's filling you up with lies. He's become vile. He's done everything opposite he said that he's going to do, and he's completely different this term. He's seeking to change times and laws. And guess what's February 9th? The Super Bowl. And if you guys remember my dream, I've had dreams, about a rapture and stuff. Do I know what's going to happen then? No, I do not. I do feel with all of my heart, mind, and soul that it's really, really soon. Because of the fig tree generation. The fig tree generation is 80 years, and I'm going to say that, and I'm going to stick to that because of what the biblical scriptures say, and we don't have much time left. We are on borrowed time, and that is why Satan knows he only has a short window. His 42 months is about to begin, and when that happens, we're going to be gone. And then, you have the 2 witnesses and the 144,000 that's going to do their thing. All the while we're being protected, and Israel flees into the wilderness, from the grip of Satan, and within that midst, next year you have, the mark of the beast that's going to be out, and it's going to be taking place. And so we have, that's why they're collapsing the economy now. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing right now, especially with, that they're talking about the cryptocurrency and stuff. All of that was just a ploy. They're backing it up with gold and silver and stuff. That's where they're saying it is. But really, it is the digital ID. It's all going to boil down to that. Once the great reset happens, once the grid goes out, once the rapture happens, once all these things take place, for the great reset, money's going to be gone. It's going to be obsolete. It's not going to have value. And you're going to have to comply to this new system, which is the what? The golden age, and you don't want to be here for that. You don't want to, be caught up in this world. And just like Matthew 6:19-21, Jesus specifically tells us, do not conform to the things of this world where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in. For where your treasure is, there your heart be also. Store your treasures up in heaven. And you don't want to get left behind, especially for the things that's coming upon this world. And with the planetary alignments that's happening and stuff, that is causing mega shifts. And we now, we just had 60-degree weather. What was it, yesterday? It was 65, actually 66 degrees. And now today it's in the 20s and we're getting ready to have snow. Like this pole shift stuff, all of these things. And then we have the northern lights and all that coming back onto scene. This is God's judgment. He is trying to wake the people up, telling people, I am coming. The days are getting shorter. And when that protective barrier that has protected us from all the years from El Nino to La Nino, protects you from the northeast, south, and west, those winds, or from the different, like the hemispheres to protect you from those temperatures from colliding. It's God that's been protecting us from all of that. It's the angels holding back the 4 winds. What's going to happen when we leave? It's all just going to collide, and it's going to be a 360 degree. It's a pole shift. Boom. It's going to knock everybody off their feet. They're not going to be expecting this. And that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be sudden destruction. Sudden. Things are not going to be normal. Things will never go back to the way that they were before, And then we have this massive plague that's happening, this pestilence that's going. Everybody's become sick and it's airborne. You get sick with a common cold. You used to be able to get over it in 3 to 4 days. Now, you're lucky to get rid of it within 3 weeks. People's having respiratory issues. They're having dizzy spells. They're getting staph infections, strep throat, COVID like never before. You're having, flu viruses. You're having things happen that we've have never seen before. And it's just getting worse, and it's a depopulate. It's so people can start complying to the government, and, the food rationings, and, in stores and stuff, and they're getting rid of the eggs, and, they're destroying the people. They're trying to destroy your livelihood. We're just out of time, guys. We're at the end, and we just don't have much time left. And Satan knows it. So he is speeding everything up and doing whatever he can to try and discourage the people, to try and get as many people to hold on to hope, to hold on to this man that they believe is going to change the world. When in reality, all he's going to do is destroy it, like I said. And he's going to do it piece by piece by piece until his project is fulfilled. So I love you guys, and I will be seeing you guys soon. I'll see you guys there in the air. Pray over this as always. God bless.